Welcome everyone to today's tropical update. We will be talking about tropical threats around the world and also some subtropical threats and extratropical storms that pose threats to people as well. First, our main story is in the southwestern Pacific near Fiji with Cyclone Mao. It's a Category 2 in the Australian scale with 120 km/h winds passing right to the west of Fiji, so expect a lot of strong winds and heavy rain on the western island of Fiji today, and these conditions can be very dangerous, so be careful there, and if you have friends or family there, tell them to be careful. Now, there's another invest here in the Western Pacific with low chance of formation still. This might track north towards Guam and the Northern Mariana Islands, so keep an eye on this. And there's a weak tropical depression or remnant low here in the Western Pacific near Palau. This might try to regenerate, but it's very weak now, so no immediate threats. Then there's another disturbance in the Bay of Bengal. This might form into something weak and bring a lot of rain to eastern India and Bangladesh. So if you know someone there, tell them and stay safe. Now in the Atlantic, we have one disturbance with 70% chance of formation in the next 7 days and 10% chance in the next 48 hours. This is predicted to lift northeast and bring a lot of rain to eastern Cuba, Jamaica, and parts of Haiti and the eastern Dominican Republic. So if you know someone there, or if you are there, be careful, please. A lot of rain, mudslides, and floods are possible, and some gusty winds too. There's also another disturbance in the Atlantic. It's a non-tropical disturbance in the Gulf of Mexico. This is bringing a lot of rain to some of the Gulf states, and tomorrow the rain chance will increase in many parts of Florida, and there might be a lot of rain in eastern Florida too. So if you know someone there in southeastern Florida, tell them that there may be a lot of rain and maybe some flash flooding, and in parts of the Bahamas too. The NEM model earlier even showed this getting into a full-fledged cyclone, but not tropical from my point of view. So we'll keep you updated on this. And there's another extratropical feature that will be affecting parts of the Pacific Northwest with some rain and gusty winds and snow in the higher elevations. This might affect Canada too and many parts of California. Now let's take a look at the Joint Typhoon Warning Center. They have here the disturbances and the cyclones. Now I wanted to show you the Fiji weather page here and the warnings that they got for Cyclone Mao. They have storm warnings and gale warnings, strong wind warnings, heavy rain warnings, flash flood alert, and the other warnings too. So stay safe in Fiji. This storm is pretty intense. Now there's something else I want to show you is the rain accumulation for parts of Fiji. A lot of rain predicted, as mainly from this cyclone, but the worst stays offshore. Here in other parts of the Western Pacific, a lot of rain too. In Vietnam, a lot of rain. And let's see here the Bay of Bengal. There's a lot of rain accumulation for parts of Bangladesh and eastern India and even Myanmar, so be careful in those areas. Now let's check the Atlantic here, and a lot of rain, more than a meter or foot of rain in parts of the Caribbean. In the eastern tip of Cuba, it will be very dangerous. In the western tip of Haiti, tremendous rain too, and mainly eastern Jamaica, it will be worst. So be careful with that. And here on the Gulf Coast, a lot of rain for parts of the Panhandle of Florida. And let's check eastern Florida here. A lot of rain as well. The worst will be offshore, but a lot of rain as well. And then this storm here that will be bringing rain to Florida will probably track across the east coast here and affect Maine and New Brunswick and Nova Scotia during Saturday or Sunday. So be aware of that too. Last thing we are showing you is the wind gusts. First in the Caribbean. Now as this thing starts forming around Thursday and Friday, especially Friday and Saturday, there will be a lot of wind across parts of western Haiti and eastern Cuba too. A lot of wind, more than 40 knots, almost 60 knots, mainly over the ocean, but over land there will be a lot of wind too. And let's see here in the Gulf Coast, a lot of wind from this non-tropical low pressure here. Let's see a lot of wind across the Bahamas, be aware of that. Across Florida, some wind too. And then it will bring a lot of wind and rough seas and rain to parts of Maine and Atlantic Canada. And even some snow too behind it, and dry air. Now the wind gusts for Fiji, they are very strong today, more than 60 knots in the far western point, and 40 knots, 50 knots in most of the western island of Fiji. So be aware of that. And then this starts moving away in the next few days, and then we'll update you on where it goes, but you probably just head out to sea. For the Philippines and Palau and Guam, there's not much of wind gusts to talk about as there were in the other places, but we'll keep you updated in case some of these cyclones strengthen and decide to hit one of these places. We'll keep you updated. For the Bay of Bengal, there might be some wind and a lot of wind for some parts of eastern India, especially eastern India and Bangladesh too. A lot of 40 to 50 knots in wind gusts, so be aware of that too. And this model is even showing here those storms in the Atlantic recurving and affecting Europe by next week, but we'll track that and keep you updated in case this does head towards Europe. Now let's check in the Pacific Northwest if that storm will bring any dangerous winds. It's bringing some winds, mainly offshore, most of them, but there might be gusty winds at times for parts of California and other places. And that's it for today's update. Thanks for watching and stay safe.